Okay, we have a short amount of time, and I'm going to talk about trolls. How many here is active on social media and stuff like that? I'm going to assume everyone, but just raise your hand so I get some sort of sense of back and forth. Right, okay, so you all met, how many here have actually met abusive, aggressive, annoying, or in general, time-wasting users? I see one hand being raised, and then, yeah, okay, right, we've all met them. I'm going to sit down for a second, because that's going to be annoying again. I want to talk about these abrasive users and how to deal with them using the absolutely best way to do that. Futurama, the best show ever except Firefly, because it has all the necessary characters. Yeah, well, applaud if you want, because Firefly back in the air. Right, okay, enough pandering to the crowd. It has some of the base personalities available with our users. We have a bunch of them, and the majority are brilliant people, but some of them are sort of not worth the time. Some of them are, but you don't want to waste too much time on it. So I'm going to go through the most casual ones, and there's a reason for this whole thing, and it'll end with that reason, so cling to it, okay? The first most typical annoying user I found is the noob. The person who does something horrible to whatever you've done, and then blame that, or something like the distro, and then switch to the distro. Usually a nice person. They're happy to switch. Oh, it broke, I'm going to switch to Linux Mint, or I'm going to switch to Arch for some reason. Arch is great, but not for noobs. And the way to handle this person, for example, that's just being nice. Introduce them to the community and assume, yeah, you're going to switch around a bit. They're going to distro hop, and it's fine. Be nice, be extremely nice to this kind of specific time-wasting user. I'm also doing them in grades of how annoying they are. So this is the least annoying one. The next one is the troll, the bender. The person who just, for the hell of it, will just go in and write out, it's GNU Linux actually. Or Richard Stallman doesn't like this, or whatever it might be. They have different tactics. And they're fun and really annoying, and as usual, ignore them. That's the only character here that you can safely ignore, because they're just going to be abrasive for fun, for laughs. The third one is the aggro. The person, when something goes wrong, they go ballistic. I'm sure you've all read this. Someone just writing like, swear word, swear word, swear word, swear word, Kubuntu, swear word, swear word, swear word, and you go, oh, yeah, it broke, but it's not the end of the world. And you ask them, oh, did you lose some sort of information? No, it's just annoying. Yeah, it's annoying. The best way to solve this sort of person is not to be inclusive, to be the person that goes, yeah, I know, oh, it's so annoying. There's a bug report, we're working on it, but just, try to make them a part of your team instead. But don't pay them too much mind, because they're going to let go in a second. They're going to do an entire frozen and just let it go and move along to something else and then be angry about that, or, find themselves again, and that's fine. But just, these people are not that bad. This is my hate person. Actually, this is the one I hate almost the most. And it's the know-it-all. The guy or girl who go into a thread and tell developers that I know are genius people, smart, they know what they're talking about. They can tell that person to the face that they're absolutely wrong, they don't know anything about that thing they worked with for 3 years because they read something on Wikipedia, and they're obviously better than you. And the only way to deal with these people is simply going, here's file a bug report or help out, and then ignore them. Don't reply. Don't even reply once too often. Just say this is the bug report and then let it be, because these people will talk forever, and they will be upset that you don't say, oh right, okay, you're now the main dev for this project. I'm done here. You're obviously better than me, even though they're crud. Then comes this guy, Hermes Conrad, the lawyer, the person who has a war on a small detail, and they will do anything to bring this up. I know David Edmondson and a certain user on Reddit Let's not name the person, but it's an Egyptian king born 1979. And this person can, if you write something about KDE on Linux, the Reddit for Linux, he will go in and spew on you for mentioning it and talk about Qt for hours. He will not stop. He will just continue, and you go, this is nothing, there's nothing about Qt here. Oh, yeah, sure, it's Qt based, but why are you here? You hate us, please go away. And he won't, he'll just return over and over and over. And at a certain point, you snap, you will always snap, you will always go, oh, for, like David did, in a good way, in a good way. And he will never go away. So this is the specific sort of person, again, you can safely ignore. They're not about, no one's going to reference back to them and go, yeah, this Egyptian king born 1979, he said this and this and this, because it's not an argument. Will never come back to haunt you if you ignore them. But it's the last ones that will come back to haunt us. Yes?
Correction, is not lawyer, it's accountant.
Yeah, I know he's an accountant, but it's weird then. Just take the analogy. Okay, this is the one I don't hate. I've run into them at some times, but you know who they are. They are the people who will turn up in a thread and then say, look, I downloaded your application or OS or desktop environment. You owe me. Here, fix these things or I will be upset and I will not use it anymore. And you go, well, who cares? That's usually how I react. It's sort of, yeah, fine, go away, bother someone else. They will then go on to say after that, well, is this the way you treat customers? And then you start to think, this person really think that they paid me money somehow magically by using the stuff I've done? And they do. And they will never stop, because this is a very common cultural phenomena now. That people assume that everyone must be either a customer or a seller. And when you're a customer or seller, there are certain archetypes. You have to fill certain roles and you have to play with them. Don't. This is one of those situations which can come back to haunt you badly. So what you need to do then is to make sure that other developers are ready to back you up and simply go, no, we haven't sold anything to you. Or as I did, propose that we should buy a Windows license for this person. Because, let it be their problem. The worst kind, and the final one, is Reuterberg, the loser. The person whose life is so horribly bad that they will just cling on to you because you made something they kind of like, and then be upset at you forever. They love you. They love you with all their life, but they hate you at the same time. They will actually come back and just insult people. They can stalk people from forums to their blogs and onward to Reddit. There are some developers who met this kind of person who will never, ever give up. Their life is so horrible that this is essentially their entire enjoyment. This is the specific one that sort of popped up a lot in KDE circles about a year back. And the situation I really wanted to talk about, because these are the times where other developers, other designers, people involved in the community needs to step up and sort of tag team the person he or she is attacking out. Simply go, yeah, okay, he or she will not reply, I'll reply. This is the thing. Because we need to start backing each other up. And the reason this whole thing, this whole lightning talk, the reason you're sitting there playing with your smartphones, the reason I've talked about it is because I really want us, all of us, to start going into forums, be active on social forums, and try to keep a tab on users and other developers and see if they need help. Be gracious, obviously. You can be kind, you can be friendly, you don't have to be mean to them or anything, but you have to know to always react to certain people, and always, specifically if they are Reuterbergs, people who attack a specific developer and cling on to them. That's when you have to step in. That's where you have to go in and go, look, you're behaving like an asshole, sorry. You're behaving like an idiot, and you obviously shouldn't, so this is me. Like, be ready to ban them from forums as well. And I would like to see us all take a bigger step out into social media and be more active in the way we talk to each other, in the way we sort of back each other up. in the way we invite more people into the community. Because there's one thing to talk about community, there's a completely different thing when community is simply a bunch of targets ready to be shot at by trolls. And we can't keep saying, oh, you just need thick skin or just ignore them, because at a certain point it won't work. We'll lose developers this way. We'll lose people. People may not even want to go into that community if they see that, oh, they're being attacked all of the time. And this is common with design. It usually strucks out to GNOME designers. I know some who've taken a lot of beating. And maybe they do a little icon, but the second, oh, I'm a GNOME designer, and then they'll hear it. They'll get spanked around. And we don't want that for developers or designers. We want to be able to stick up for each other and have a growing, sort of escalating community. And for that, we have to be able to meet these trolls and do something about them. And that's me. Cheers.
We have time for one question.
If anyone has a question, I'll be amazed. Question?
What kind of user are you?
I'm the noob. I break things, but I'm kind of happy when they break and go, oh, I'll move to another distro, because that's the level of knowledge I have. I'm a pretty boy designer. That's essentially, I do pretty things. And then the technical bit, I'm constantly amazed by it. That's why I actually like to turn up to these things, because it's like talking to wizards. It's like being invited to Hogwarts to talk. Like, oh, you do magic. Oh, cool. So, yeah.
That was the end. As I said, he's awesome.
I'm awesome.